Welcome to another exciting episode of Principles of Management. Today we begin our discussion looking at leadership. Leadership and management go hand in hand, but they're also slightly different. Remember, leading is one of the four functions of management: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So in this section, we're going to be talking about leading. Now, leading versus management. Management is typically thought of more how you get things done, accomplishing things. Leadership we typically think of as setting direction. So we're going to talk more about leadership. Now, there's a lot of different theories, again, with leadership, just like there are with motivation. And a lot of it deals with, and some of it deals with power. And there's different types of power that we can talk about. And again, these are good terms to know. We start with legitimate power. This is the power that a person has because of their position. Vice president of manufacturing can make certain calls. They have the power to make certain calls about what gets done in manufacturing. The director of sales has a big role and power in terms of who people are assigned to and what gets done. The chief financial officer has power over the budget. And all that comes from the position of the person in the organization. Now, a manager may also have reward power, have the power to grant you days off, to give you bonuses, or not give you bonuses, or not give you days off, or give you good assignments or bad assignments. Those are all good assignments, are all reward power. Coercive power is, think of it as threats. You either do close this sale and do what I've asked you to do, or we're going to transfer you to Keokuk, Iowa. Right? Or I'm going to give you a different assignment that you're not going to like. Well, that's coercive power. Referent power is one we tend to think of when we think of leadership. It comes from the character of the person. Some people just have this power. You want to follow them. They tell you to run through the wall, you're going to run through the wall. We sometimes think of athletic coaches being like this. Some are, some aren't. Some actually are probably coercive. But referent power is the power that comes from a person's character. You just want to follow them because they're natural leaders. There's also expert power. This comes from the fact that you might have knowledge that other people don't have. If you're a software developer, you might be a better Java programmer than somebody else, or Python programmer. Maybe you know how to get things done in the organization that other people don't know. Maybe you're an expert in self-driving cars or robotics. That gives you a certain amount of power in an organization. Now, in trying to look at leaders, they've looked and there really isn't any one trait that all leaders have. You might say, are they good people? Well, no. There have been many leaders, strong leaders, that are not good people. We can think of people like Hitler. He was a leader, but not particularly a good person, or especially not a good person. Steve Jobs had very poor interpersonal skills, and yet was an incredible leader. But in studying them, leaders, one thing they found that leaders were persistent. CEOs just kept at things. They wouldn't give up. And that's a good trait to have. Although, reminds me of the joke, if at first you don't succeed, quit. No sense being a darn fool about the thing. Now, we're going to look at what's called the leadership grid. This is a way, it's kind of a theory for looking at how people manage. And it's a graphical kind of representation. And it looks like this. You'll notice over here we have, on this axis, the concern for people. Do we care about people? Or not? Concern for production. That's a kind of a strange word to use, but for getting things done. Do we care about accomplishing goals and objectives? Now, if we don't care about either, we can have impoverished management. Not really, basically awful management, right? You can have authority compliance. Here, I'm telling you what to do, and I'm not really caring about you as an individual, right? I don't care about people. I just care about getting the work done. That's authority compliance. Over here, we have country club management. This is where I care about, or the manager cares about the people, but is not really paying much attention to whether the work gets done. And obviously, there's a range of things here, but in country club, you care about people's feelings and not about getting the job done. Team management, I work together as a team. I care about the people, I'm concerned about the people, and I harness those people to get the job done. And of course, you can be middle of the road. All right, this is a way to think about management styles that people might have. And maybe where you've worked, you've seen people having and displaying each of these kinds of management styles.